All right, welcome back, everyone. This is Ebony, aka Fit Mom Diva of Simplicity Health Style, and today we are going to speak with Miss Brenda. Brenda, how are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Awesome. Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to speak with us today. You guys, she's going to deliver some awesome gems. Stick around to the end because if you do, I'm going to offer you a complimentary gift if you so choose to partake. So, we're going to get to know Brenda a little bit by asking her about her favorite motivational quote to break the ice. Just tell us one motivational quote that really inspires you, something that really motivates you to be the best that you can be.
Okay. This is one that I read recently. It's from a book by Rachel Hollis. I'm going to read it off of here. It says, "Whatever standard you set for yourself is where you'll end up, unless you fight through your instinct and change your pattern." So this quote, it like revolutionized my whole entire world because of the fact that she in her book was talking about like going for your dream and how sometimes we will get to a certain point and we'll stop, but that's always the same place where we stop. And so unless we decide to keep going forward and push through all of that, whatever it is that stops us at that point, we're never going to get further and actually get to where we want to be. And so that's what I've been doing lately, and it's amazing whenever I think about it.
I love that you are talking about this. I actually just experienced this very recently where there was something in particular that I was even asking for the opportunity for. And when it presented itself, I was like, well, never mind. But I actually asked for the opportunity for months.
Right.
And I got to the point where I'm like, no, I don't think that I'm ready for this opportunity. So it's amazing how we get to this point where we're like, okay, because of fear, do I really want
Mhm.
this bad enough? Or
Right.
do I just remain in my comfort zone? And that's really what
Mhm.
it's about. We get so comfortable that we're like, we don't know what's on the other side of that. So we're like, we'll
Yeah.
just stay right here where it's safe. You know?
Mhm. Yeah.
I love that. I love that quote. Tell us about a time in your own life where maybe you didn't see the light at the end of the tunnel and you decided, even through obstacles, that you were going to persevere and then you were able to actually bring that dream or that goal to fruition.
So that's actually been recently for me. Like 2 months ago, maybe. I had like all these dreams to do all these things, and I just wanted to get started with like my brand and doing all of these like social media things. And I sat there and I was like, but I don't know how to do this. I haven't gone to school long enough to learn. I haven't done this or I don't do that. And you see, especially with you see all of these people at a certain point, am I going to get to that place? And it was so
Repeat that
hard.
last sentence for us, Brenda, because you cut out just slightly. Just the very last sentence. You said you see these people. I didn't hear what you said right after that.
Oh, yeah. So you see these people on social media who are like the same age as me, and they're like making millions. And you think, how am I going to get there when I'm starting now? Or you think all these things, and it was so hard because I, my obstacle was not believing that I could.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I think that's when the obstacles are the hardest because when it's something physical, you can see it and you can fight it. But when it's within yourself and you just keep on thinking, like, I can't do this, or how
Mm-hmm.
am I going to, or I'm not like good enough to do it, or why would someone give me the opportunity to be able to, like, I'm not special enough, or whatever you think.
Right.
It it really hurts and it makes you discouraged, but like that's when that around that time was when I was reading this book by Rachel Hollis. And so this she was talking about all these things, and so like that quote, it just opened everything up for me. I'm like, you know what? Like, I've done this, started this like 2 times before, and I didn't end up going through with it. Like, this time I'm not going to do that. I'm learning to like discipline myself. When I don't want to do something, I do it anyways. When it seems too hard, I keep going. And if it takes me a week to get over it, if it takes me a month, it doesn't matter. I'm going to keep on pushing, because whenever it gets to that point where I'm actually there, I can build something else. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, that totally makes sense. Tell us, if you don't mind, what age bracket you're in, or your age, so that people can kind of relate to what you're talking about.
So I'm 23 years old, and it's so like, it's at this age where you would think, I was talking about this with someone the other day, where people, like, when you're young, you always look at like 23 and like, you look at it, it's like, oh, this amazing thing. And when you're actually in it, you're like, I have no idea what I'm doing with my life.
I used to work with people that were 23, and I still attract that age because I look like 15 years young. I'm almost 40 right now, and like in another few months, but I still attract that age. And it's always interesting to me, because when I was 23, I thought that I didn't really think of myself as being a baby. You know, like, I thought of myself as being semi-mature and able to handle things. But when I worked with them in a college career center, I realized that these are just kind of like children that have moved outside of their parents' house. So they no longer are operating under all of mom and dad's financial resources, but they're very much babies. they're very much like 16 and 17-year-olds almost. So they're a little bit more mature, but in terms of what do I want to actually do with my life? Like, what is my career purpose? What kind of job is going to be fulfilling to me? They were very clueless. It was like they were being forced to grow up and make decisions that they weren't quite ready for yet. Not to say there's anything wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that we place a lot of stress on people in that college age bracket to say, you need to choose a major. And you need to be taking 5 classes every semester and be done in 4 years, or you're a loser. You know?
Yeah, no, I get it.
Because I worked in that environment. I worked in a college career center, so I know what those struggles were for these people. What would you say is your most challenging experience right now when it comes to discovering more of who you are within?
I think right now it's mostly getting out of my comfort zone. Like, when I was a teenager, I was very closed off in terms of I didn't really express who I was and things like that. Like, I like to have fun and be with my friends, but I never put myself at doing all this. You have to do that. You need to be that way, not in like you need to, like a bad way, but it's like it's a good thing. And so for me, it's getting out of my comfort zone, trying things that I've never thought I could do before, or saying things or being involved with something that to me before it was scary, but I've always wanted to. It's just getting past my own limitations to be able to be the best that I can be.
Yeah. And sometimes it helps when we have a strong support system too. We can't do it all the time by ourselves. What would you recommend to someone that didn't have a strong support system? Like, I know for you, you have a strong Christian spiritual base. And so you probably have people that really want the best for you, but not everyone grows up in the same kind of environment. Not everyone has family and friends that are supportive of them. And not everyone has people that maybe are supportive of them, but they don't quite know how to help because that's not their lane. That's not their zone of genius. So they're
Yeah.
like, we're going to support you, but we really don't know how to support you. So what would you recommend to people that fall into that category where they're looking for their dream to get off the ground, but they need a little bit more support?
One of the things that like I did, because even though I have that like Christian support system and I have my family and my friends, they don't do the same things I'm doing. And
Mm-hmm.
so for me to be able to have that support in that area with people who understand is online. There's
Yeah.
so many places. There's Facebook groups. You can look like groups up on Google for whatever your passion is,
Yeah.
and a group that supports that. And
Yeah.
I'm part of like 5 of them. And it's amazing because people are just so encouraging when you're going after the same things. And even if like you look at someone, like I went completely out of my comfort zone one time, and there was this girl who also does YouTube, and so I saw that we kind of had things in common. So I messaged her. I said, hey, I watched your videos and I was wondering if you wanted to build a support system with me, and that way we can grow together, we can talk to each
Right.
other. And now she's one of my greatest friends, where if we're going through something or if something amazing happens, we'll message each other. But she's in a completely different state than I am. And so like the internet used to be something that was so scary. It's like stranger danger, don't talk to people you don't know. But now like you have to be cautious, obviously, but now it's become the best place to find support,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's not in your own city. And you
Right.
can find support in your own city too. So that it's the possibilities are endless.
Yes, and I believe that we sometimes don't think about the fact that even when we don't know people in our community, in our local community, in our own city, that we can utilize the online space to also seek out people in our local community. So for example, there are
Mm-hmm.
meetup groups that meet regularly every week in your city that
Mm-hmm.
you can search for online. So I think that online is what you just explained. You know, it used to be a thing of stranger danger. Who are you, and
Yeah.
why should I talk to you? You know, but
Yeah.
there's such a connectivity that comes with it, and I think that most people, as a whole, will be able to discern who
Mm-hmm.
is the person that they should be engaging in conversation with and who is someone that they shouldn't. You know, I think that we're savvy enough now to know if someone has, for example, a fake profile. We're not going to
Right.
just meet somebody up at the mall. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think we know what things to look for.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
I believe that when you're ready to step outside of your comfort zone and you're really wanting to be aligned with your true purpose, I think that those positive things are going to come into your space where you don't have to
Of
worry
course.
about, am I attracting all the wrong things, because
Mm-hmm.
the energy that you're putting out is positive. So I
Right.
don't think that that's as much of a concern. What would you say to people that, let's say that they have the support system and they know exactly what they want to do, but along the process, they're feeling like something's not working. I'm stuck.
Mm-hmm.
Something is not working, but I don't know how to fix it. And my support system is not really helping me because they don't know how to fix it either.
Right.
So, what would you say to those people that are on a continual path from A to Z and they get stuck right here at letter F, where I don't know if I should go on or not?
Oh, you froze for like a really long period of time, so I didn't hear what you said there at towards the end.
Oh, sorry about that. What would you say to people that fall into the category of they have a support system and they know exactly what they want to do, but they are stuck somewhere along the continuum from A to Z? So they're at F, for example, and they're like, gosh, I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. Maybe I should just give up on this dream because I can't get the support that I would like.
Right. So that's also something I recently went through. And what I did, if we came from like books and things, was, oh, let me catch my words. It was to define your purpose, start in the first. When you're on this like continual path, it's so hard because you
Repeat it
see all
one
these
more
things
time.
and you're like, I want that. Okay.
Repeat it one more
So
time because you cut out.
what I did was define the purpose. Like, why did you start in the first place? Because in the path to whatever your dream is, it's so hard to get caught up in everything that's going on, whether it's good or it's bad, and things come at you and you're like, oh, maybe this would be better, or maybe this, and you end up losing why you even started. And so that's definitely something that I would say to do. Figure out why you started, because when you figure out why you started, all of these new ideas or even things that you how to, you'll them to want to keep going with that and want to learn more about it. And that way you can look up courses online. Like, there's a bunch of places where you can learn how to do something, and it's like, it could be like all on YouTube, and people do that. And but as long as you know why you're doing it, then the possibilities just come to you.
Yes, always redefining why it's important to you. I love it, love it, love it. I actually just gave a presentation on that not too long ago where I said there are going to be times where we're stuck, but identifying why you started in the first place is always going to recenter you and allow you to gain that focus again. So yes, thank you. I think that's an awesome place to end. Would you like to share a little bit more about what your intention is with your own personal social media influence and brand, and how people can get in contact with you? And I'm going to include all of her contact information, you guys, in the description box. So don't feel like you have to go frantically find a piece of paper and a pen. it'll all be there. But just close us out, Brenda, by just explaining a little bit about what your intentions were when you decided that you wanted to be a social media influencer, and what are your next steps from here?
So I wanted to be a social media influencer just for the plain fact of influencing people. I wanted to show people like positivity in life. I want to be able to just put that out there. Yes, times are going to be a little hard, and I put that out there too, but I always want to make sure that people know that you don't have to live a sorrowful life. You can live a good life through the good times, through the bad times, and it's things like that. And so, and that's really it. I just want to be a positive influence on people, no matter what I'm talking about or what I'm doing, and always make people see the brighter side of things, even if they don't have something to look at that specific moment.
Yes, thank you. And there are times when, as you said, you might be experiencing your own challenges, but I truly believe that even when we are experiencing challenges, there's always something positive in that situation that is teaching us something. And I think that if we can reverse it and say, woe is me, why is the world happening like this? And why are things happening to me like this? If we could go back to that state of gratitude for the lesson that's being learned in that moment, it makes the situation not as dramatic. So it's not, it's not being naive. It's just saying, I can't control the situation, so what positive can I gain from it? It's only going to make me feel worse if I sit here and say, woe is me. So how can I make myself feel better about what's going on as it's helping me to grow? You understand? Thank you so much, Brenda. I really do appreciate you taking your time out of your day to connect with your audience and mine and whoever else is listening. And for those of you that are interested in joining a community of like-minded, positive, purpose-driven women, Please join my Nutrition for Busy Women Facebook group. The link is in the description box. And if you join, you get a complimentary gift. I'm going to provide you with an assessment to help you determine what your career and life purpose is. And we are all about nutrition, but not nutrition from just a food consumption standpoint. We're also about nourishing our body, mind, and soul. So if you're looking for a community of people to connect with and you want to remain in constant contact with me, I invite you to join us. And then feel free to share this out to anyone that you believe can benefit, because I think that we have a tendency of thinking that we're the only ones that are challenged and need help in the area of discovering our life purpose, but you have family and friends that are right around you that also need help as well. So share this with anyone that would benefit. And if you would like to share your success story and challenges to connect with a greater audience, let me know that as well. All of my contact info and all of Brenda's contact info is in the description box. You guys have an awesome rest of the day wherever you are in the world, and I will talk to you soon.